probably only need a few people, but I'd really love people who are like really awesome on computer and internet kind of stuff, because we want to, we'd love to have like a really functional website where we can keep in touch with each other and like update our minutes and videos and whatever we have that's relevant. So if you have any of those skills, please talk to me, please join my committee, please help me out. Also, if you'd love to text message or telephone, we'll be doing that too. So, besides that, today I'm talking about the Choral Journal. That's the magazine that you'll start getting when you turn in your national membership. It's a monthly journal, which kind of gives, is a really interesting resource because it has a real broad variety of articles. It has some things that we'll talk about, like music history and music theory and just various research that's going on in the field. There's also a lot of articles about repertoire, which will be very useful. So even if you're not interested in them right now, like, file them away in your closet and keep them, because you'll realize they're incredibly valuable. The article that I saw that interested me this month was titled Children's Choirs. And so it's kind of started out as a discussion about how enrollment in children's choirs has kind of gone up, is trending upwards in the past few years. But the author of this actually relates that to how we're doing elementary school music. And as somebody who's considering going into elementary general music as well as, or maybe instead of just choral, it was really interesting to me because she kind of challenges, if you've started your methods or if you will be, you'll start learning about the national standards. And there's basically 9 national standards that cover like the entire range of what it is to know music. And we start trying to implement that like in the very young elementary ages. But what this author was saying is that we only see most of these kids for maybe 30 minutes a week. And so by trying to do all these various things, kids aren't singing as much in their music classes. And so she's concerned that because younger children, she believes, learn to love music through singing. And so if we're not spending as much time in elementary school singing, then a lot of kids are missing out on that chance to learn to love music in that way. So her kind of message throughout her whole article was that children's choirs are a great supplement to what we're doing in elementary schools now for music, because singing is such a vital part to learning to love music, and that'll last your entire life. So that kind of just goes back to kind of having a philosophy for being a music teacher and reevaluating that over the course of your career. That's one of the things the Choral Journal is great for, because a lot of the articles will talk about various people's philosophies and how they have or haven't changed over the course. So I know we're all really, really busy with like curriculum and stuff, and tests and grades and projects, but if you have a few minutes, you know, on a weekend or a month, just browse through your edition or go online. I just got a link. You can, if you, for some reason it doesn't show up in your mailbox, like mine didn't for a while, or if you've lost your copy or whatever, they have archives of all of the choral journals online, and once you're a member, you can bring them up and just find whatever you want. So take advantage of that resource, it's really valuable.
And the Choral Journal Spotlight is something that we do every meeting, so is there a volunteer who wants to do it next time? You just kind of pick an article and do it. Okay, so Amanda will do that. And I think that's it. Are there any questions about anything that we've talked about? Yeah?
I'm still a little confused with the points.
Okay, so the way you earn points is by participating, by coming to meetings, by coming to activities, events, fundraisers. You can also earn points by going to outside concerts, and you accumulate a certain number of points. And if you have enough points, we will pay for your convention fee, as well as maybe hotel costs, anything like that. So
it's a really good thing because it's really expensive.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, just by attending here today, you'll all get a point. So, and it kind of takes a long time to explain, so that's why we're kind of waiting to talk about it.
The more you're involved, the more you can earn for conventions. There were some members last year who had their entire airfare, hotel, and convention fee paid for to go to the city.
And a little extra money to buy books and music and some cool stuff like that.
And for those of you who don't know does everybody know what convention is? ACDA convention is where a bunch of choral directors and college students get together. There's reading sessions where you get a packet of music and you just read through it to see which ones you like, which ones you don't like. You can use it, which is great, especially when you get into your methods class. There's interest sessions telling you about how to teach men's choir, how to teach middle school, how to work with the female voice. I mean, it's just a really, really great thing, especially for all of us who have so much to learn.
It's also a good opportunity to network.
Yeah, and network, get to know maybe somebody you want to student teach with, or even a teacher that you want to teach with later on.
Or go to graduate school.
Yeah, go to grad school. I mean, last year was amazing. We met a lot of people. And it was
Convention
fun.
alternates between regional, divisional conventions. So this year the divisional convention is in Tucson. We're in the Western Division. The Western Division encompasses Arizona, Nevada, Utah, California, Hawaii. Okay, so everyone that will be participating in the Tucson convention will be from those states. Next year the national convention is in Chicago, as it was alluded to earlier.
So, that'll be really fun. Yeah.
About how many points do you need in order to have
We
hit
haven't-
certain points where you pay for them?
We haven't worked it out yet this year, because it varies depending on the number of opportunities that we have to earn points. But usually it's about 25 to 30 to get a full share. The way we do it is we divide all of the money that we have into shares. So a full share, say a full share is $300. If you earn enough points to get that, you would earn that $300 to use towards convention, as well as your convention fee. And then if you get a half share, which is another value, then you would get $150. And then if you earn just enough points to get your convention fee paid for, then we'll work that out. But yes.
Do you want to mention the honor choir?
Oh yes.
Well, two things about the Tucson convention coming up. If you're in Shrine or high altitude, you're performing for the Tucson convention, so you will not have to pay a registration fee, and your hotels will be covered. Okay. So if you're not in one of those ensembles and you want to participate, they are doing a collegiate honor choir, which is by teacher recommendation only. So we ask you to sign up in quartets, and you submit your applications together, and most of you should have received them, I think, or at least mentioned them in your ensembles. Then we'll make recommendations, we'll rank them, and then we'll send them in to the Western Division committee and the coordinator, and then they'll just select. And again, it's a collegiate honor choir, so it's 4-year, 2-year community colleges from those 5 states that I mentioned earlier. And the conductor again will be Weston Noble.
Who is a legend, if you don't know. So, any other questions about anything coming up? Yeah.
Sorry. Do they carry over, like, say we can't do Tucson, can we push them towards Chicago instead? Or
Usually
are they just yearly?
Usually we don't, but with so many people having their convention fees already paid for this year, I think we're considering rolling over points so that more people can go to the Chicago convention.
We're looking at a procedure to
But typically we don't, so we might put a cap on it, and maybe you can only carry like 15 points over or something. But yeah, so and it all depends on how much we fundraise, how much money we have in the account by the end of this year. So
The thing that's kind of scary about points is that, especially last year, we were constantly like reevaluating and changing how many points and what's a full share, what's a half share. So just do as much as you can. Like, do as much as you can, and be involved, and you're learning, and you're getting involved, and you're doing things that are cool. And I mean, I didn't think I was gonna make it last year. I thought I was not gonna get a full share, and then last minute, all of a sudden, I had 3 points over a full share, and I got everything paid for. So I mean, we're not really trying to trick you into doing a bunch of stuff, but it kind of seems that way. So just get involved and do points, and you'll probably be fine.
So anything else? Any questions? Okay, just make sure that you filled out that membership form, and we'll put it up here on the table. There's cookies. For those of you who are watching online, we'll put the membership forms and the agendas up on the ACDA board across from Choral Studies. And all of you, if you have friends that couldn't make it today for some reason, they forgot or whatever, all that stuff will be up on the board. So yeah, and I think that's it. I hope to see all of you at the barbecue and at our next meeting.